Good evening. 5:57 p.m. 9/14/2022. Month's half over already, people. Tonight we're going to keep it going, talking about Jolissa Fuentes. We're going to show you some footage that I did, some things that I suspect. We'll talk about it. Also, I do believe there is one person that knows what happened. A witness, I'm saying, besides who did what they did. Let's hope she's okay. Let's hope she's alive. But we're going on 35 days, people. It's too long. Let's find answers. Let's review Jolissa Fuentes. Let's keep her name out there. Please share this on your social medias. Keep the chat about Jolissa. Thank you. Please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever you choose. Appreciate you guys for being here. We do have a co-host tonight. One and only Crime and Justice. If you're not subscribed to her channel, get over there, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being here, Crime and Justice.
Thank you. How are you?
Just living the dream.
That's all we can do, right?
Yeah. Living the dream. All right. Just got a message from Candace, so apologize. We're going to be talking about Jolissa Fuentes, so we're going to review this. Let's start with, was there somebody in the car with her? I think there was. Crime and Justice, what about you at this point?
And I definitely think there was.
I think so too. Let's look. Let's talk about it. Let's review this quick, and then we'll get into AWP's search at Avocado Lake in different parts of Selma.
4 a.m. to 4:04 a.m. Jolissa Fuentes is seen on the CCTV camera at this AM/PM. She gets home from a party at 3 a.m. just to grab her backpack purse to go to the AM/PM. She calls her brother, and she did get a hold of her brother. Her brother was in Fresno, so she left, and at 3:59 a.m., her sister misses a phone call from Jolissa.
So Jolissa did, in fact, get a hold of her brother. He was in Fresno.
Right.
She took off right afterwards. And it wasn't a party. It was a gathering, people. Let's not get this what it wasn't. There wasn't like 10 or more people there. It was a little less than 10, I believe. It was just a little gathering.
Jolissa. At 4 o'clock to 4:04, Jolissa seen in the AM/PM buying a cigar and then returning to her car. At 5:24 and 5:25, Jolissa makes 2 video calls to her sister, which are also missed. Now, here's my question. They say Jolissa left the house alone, her grandparents' house where she lives, to go to the AM/PM. But I don't believe she's alone. I actually believe she picked somebody up between 3:15 a.m. to 3:50 a.m. And this is why. As you see Jolissa exiting her car, it takes her a second. She's actually going to stop and go back to her car, and it's not to check to see if it's locked. She gets confirmation from someone in the back seat. Watch again. She's talking to them. She gets out. They say something as she closes the door. She goes back. She gets confirmation and then goes inside. Now her family says she doesn't like to drive on the freeway at all. Matter of fact, she doesn't like to go places alone. So her going to Avocado Lake alone doesn't make sense. Now watch again and see if you can see what I'm saying.
Now, in some interviews with her family, they did say that she would drive to Avocado Lake, and they would go there as family as well. But I have to tell you, you wouldn't drive 45 minutes away just to go smoke a blunt, just to drive all the way back stoned. Not worth it. Smoke in a parking lot somewhere, smoke by your house. It's legal in California. You can smoke doing a handstand in the middle of the street.
Right. It doesn't make sense that she would go all the way out there.
Right. What's up, Rockin' G's? Doesn't make sense. She has a key fob. She could just hit the lock button. She doesn't need to walk back to her car. Doesn't make sense.
No.
It's almost impossible at this angle and with this lighting to tell with the tinted windows if there's somebody in the car, but I do believe there is. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. This is No Thanks Investigates, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
We will catch you on the flip side. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here.
You know, it didn't look like that she locked the door.
Oops. Sorry, no, I'm on the wrong account. No, it's my fault. Go ahead. What were you saying?
It didn't look like she locked the doors on the car either, because if you use your key fob to lock the doors, the lights temper like they flash.
Right.
And we did not see that flash of the light. So how would she locked the door?
I agree. We'll watch this one and then I'll change it over.
All right.
Should be good on this. We won't watch my own commercials. Foul play, Jimmy Hoffa saying, I agree.
This was the last place Jolissa Fuentes was seen over 2 weeks ago now. Last seen on August 7th, 4 a.m. in the morning on a security camera here at this AM/PM.
All right, we're heading out of here in Sherman Oaks, California. We're heading to Selma, California to look for Jolissa Fuentes. I already had over a quarter of a tank of gas too. Welcome to California. You ready to go? You're good? Let's rock.
Well, we're on our way. It's 3:39. We're on the 405 freeway, heading out to Selma, California. People, where are you guys? We're out here looking for Jolissa Fuentes. We're about to get to the AM/PM where she was last seen in Selma, California. Selma's the next two exits. We'll be stopping at the AM/PM, and then we'll be heading out to search. It's 105 degrees right now, currently out here. It's disgustingly hot. It should run right into the AM/PM here off 2nd Street.
And it does. Which takes you on to Nebraska, heading east.
Little economy market right here to the left.
We will be reviewing AWP's video
Jolissa's been missing
after this.
August 7th. She was last seen at 4 a.m. on the AM/PM security camera, CCTV, getting into a car and leaving after buying a blunt wrap. Her dad said when leaving the AM/PM, she should have made a right to go home. Instead, she made a left.
She lives about a minute away with her grandparents.
Coming up to the last place Jolissa Fuentes was seen. I'm actually going to park in the parking spot. I believe it was the corner spot.
So I'm here at the AM/PM where Jolissa Fuentes last was at. I believe she was parked right here. See all the cameras everywhere and the lights. There's cameras all on the top of the roof.
That's a lot of cameras for only having the one
There's like
footage.
7 or 9 cameras located. Where's Jolissa Fuentes? Last seen Sunday, August 7th in Selma.
You know, those flyers were taken down.
Hey, bud. I had to re-put them up. I'm actually out here searching for the missing girl, Jolissa Fuentes. Yeah. Do you know where she parked? Which spot she parked in? He was there that night, him and his unibrow. Promise. Do you know who was here? Was anybody here that's here now?
I'm in a day shift, somebody in night shift.
Okay, so come back tonight and talk to
them?
them?
Maybe around after 10.
After 10? Yeah. Awesome.
Before you renew Amazon Prime.
Oh, easy.
Oh, no.
Look, I love Amazon Prime.
Easy.
Free day shipping is great.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we'll come back. Oh, interview. Get some more tape. Tape that down better. Huh. So there's a 7-Eleven across, a 76 station across the street that also has cameras, and a little car lot that also has cameras next door. Were you here where that girl went missing? Do you know where she was parked?
I heard about that, but no, I got the tail end of it.
What did you get out of it?
Just that she was missing.
That's it.
No, well, no shit.
Hopefully we'll find her, huh?
That's weird.
Yeah, just disappeared into thin air.
Thin air.
Have a good one, sir.
That doesn't happen. People just don't disappear into thin air.
No, never.
Now the family is upset at the lack of help, the lack of searching. So we're gonna do the best we can.
That's a fact. Matter of fact, Selma still won't talk to them. No investigators.
It's so sad.
Yep.
All right. So it's off to go search from here. Here's Nebraska and Highland. This is where Jolissa Fuentes exited. And instead of going right to go home, she took a left. Now we got to figure out where she went.
Why did she go that way, right?
Yeah, I want to know who she knows that would live out that way.
Or who took her that way, right?
Right.
All right.
All right, there we go. All right, let's do this now. We also have this to show you guys. This is the newest and latest Jolissa Fuentes flyer. Wanted to make sure you guys had that as well.
Yeah, her reward fund increased to $15,000. That's really the only thing that's been changed on it.
Right. Still no car. Still no signs of Jolissa.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, I've not heard anything about anybody even having a potential sighting of her or her car. Not really.
I agree. Okay, let's get into this other video here. And then we'll get into the AWP video
This is my way to Avocado Lake, so you can see what it looks like as well.
Yeah, her last phone ping was allegedly at Avocado Lake, but
Right. There's so much water around there that once that phone pinged, they could have got rid of it anywhere.
right.
It's a fact. I'm going to speed this up, actually, this video.
All right, this is the road that leads
Actually,
to Avocado Lake.
very beautiful area, actually.
Really is.
Now, Jolissa would not come out here alone, the family says. She'd come out here with the family or friends. She doesn't like to drive the freeway, which is a good 6-7 miles. That
Takes 40 minutes to get there, you guys, from that Arco.
So, if that's the truth, then she wouldn't be driving this alone or come out here alone. There's no reason for her to come all the way out here alone just to smoke.
She could have
Nope.
found a place a lot closer to home if she was just wanting to smoke.
Yeah, she could have found a lot not closer home. There's actually going to be this little waterway that I'm going to name coming up here. I keep forgetting. Starts with a C, I think. We'll see that. That's where I think her phone actually is. I think they discarded it in there, and I'll show it to you when we get to it. But there is different areas to discard the phone, but her car is the biggest thing. We find her car, we find out what happened to her.
Right.
Here's the Friant Kern Canal.
There it is, Friant.
That's where I think the phone
Right.
could be.
That's exactly where I thought the phone was.
Bryant. I never can remember that name.
What's that? Friar Tuck. We got to remember something like that.
Right.
See if that's far enough.
Just because it pinged last by the lake doesn't mean that phone didn't get shut off or destroyed and ditched somewhere else. Could be in that lake, Avocado Lake. So many unanswered questions here.
I think I went back far enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Really beautiful in there.
Did I go back far enough?
I thought so.
Well, it's the Friant Canal.
California tribes
Oh, son of a
overwhelmingly
gun.
oppose
Here we go.
Proposition 27.
I thought I fixed this problem. Didn't I change?
Only a few tribes
I
support
thought I was on my premium. Son of a-
27, while over 50 tribes
Yes,
oppose
Hold on.
50
Son of a
tribes.
bitch.
Okay.
Prop 27.
Just gonna deal with
Please
it.
stand with
Just gotta deal with it.
California's Indian tribes.
What the deal
Vote
is.
no on 27.
Sorry, you guys. My own damn
Say
commercial.
goodbye to
Oh,
complicated
two of them, really?
supplement routines.
Really?
Really?
AT1 is your
You see,
table.
now I know YouTube loves me. I didn't know that they gave me 2 commercials. Usually they just give you like 5 seconds and done.
Multivitamin, probiotic for gut
They
health.
double
So
up.
bad. What a jerk. Let me do this. I want people to think I'm greedy, which I totally am.
They'd be doubling up on the commercials today.
Dummy. Double up to come up. Oh, great. Here we go.
Oh no.
I should have checked the timestamp.
Get in.
Looks about right. We're just going to go with this. Screw it.
It'll be okay.
At
Basically,
least you know there won't be commercials.
right.
New member. Thank you so much. Carolyn Starr.
Thank you.
They checked the lake. They didn't. She's not in that lake.
No.
Not in Avocado Lake at all.
No, they checked avocado and what was the Pine Flat and one other one.
All right. I'm going to tell you, I don't know where the hell I am right now.
We're lost.
Did we get to the lake and pass the lake yet? I can't remember. I don't think so. No, we're coming up on the lake.
Yeah, we're coming up.
My bad, you guys. I don't think any of us know that. I've never been told that by Norma.
No, Norma's never mentioned that to us.
Nope, and we're in contact with Norma pretty much every other day or so. At least weekly.
Right.
Like 6:30 a.m. or so. 5:30 now-ish. All right, here we are. Yeah, Avocado Lake is here.
Here we go.
So I was right where we were. Okay, cool. Now you can tell, and I don't have this part filmed on this, but I'm going to ask him too, can you get in and out of here at nighttime? Because they have a separate gate. This is the only place you have to pay. The next lake area over, there's nobody manning the booth. You just go in and go out. It's the honor system. You just put your money in the little outer thing, and then you just go in. There's no secondary gates, and that's really where the rapids are moving at the next place we go to.
Yeah, but this one's guarded. I mean, it's closed.
I go
down.
back there to drone later. We watch that too. We go back to the drone before AWP goes there.
Yeah. Now, is that all orchard area over there to the
Pretty much.
right?
All farmland. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's a lot of farmland, a lot of
Right.
avocado groves.
Sounds like I have a flat tire. The dam. There's a dam coming up as well on the left side.
Yeah, now that's the Pine Flat Dam, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So let me speed it up now so you can see what it looks like when you get past that all. And how rural that is. I'm going to make this go really fast so we can get to the next part of the video and then get to AWP. I don't want to keep you guys all night. Here's the dam right here. The dam's right to the left, right there. Left, right there. Left, right there. Right here to the left. To the left, right here.
It's right to the left.
To the left, right here.
All right, so I ran around Whitney Park, and there's a lot of agriculture out here.
To the left. Look at all of this.
Without gates, fences.
Wow.
How many times do you think farmers actually go through that? I mean, look how groomed it is. How often do they have to go there monthly? Once?
Maybe.
It's about coming up on a month. They got to go check their crops. They might find her.
Too many options out here. There's actually a lot more water than just those lakes, too.
That's what
Sound like a lollipop guild.
right? Hyperspeed.
There's absolutely no reception anywhere around
Racing
here.
on a road course.
See how crazy it is up there?
Right? That's what I said. It's like a road course. Look at those curves.
It's insane. Then all the water, there's water all down to the right of me. That's where all the river is. See it to the right? You see all the water?
Yeah.
That's where the rapid water is. It's kind of like maybe like 3 to 5 feet deep at the most anywhere in that rapid. But there's a lot of rocks and stuff. Yeah, so like her phone could be in between one of those rocks and nobody would ever find it. That's the weirdest part. Someone could lodged it right underneath one of those rocks, or even her body underneath those rocks. Nobody would ever find it unless the body was pushed out, or if they tied it right. Who knows?
That's a steep drop.
I don't want to think. I don't want to think about that. So we get to Avocado Lake, and this is what happens with my drone. I'll speed this up as well, so we can get through this and get a. Okay, it's already sped up. So I'm doing exactly what AWP was going to do. I hit their perimeter. I was at 10 feet out to 12 feet out. I think the middle was only 40. I can't remember. At the thinnest part of the lake, I think it was like 40 something feet, and at the widest part of the lake was, I think it was probably close to half a football field. Once you got around the other side, so now you see the police underneath. After I've been droning for a bit, they got into the water.
Right.
I stayed over her for a bit, made sure that doing your job.
There they are in their little boat.
Right. Apologize, there is no sound, so we will compensate you guys for that with our talking.
That's a lot of like algae growth right
now. There's a lot of overgrowth or undergrowth or whatever you want to call it, to where something could be stuck under there, right? But I got down to, like, think 4 feet over the water. At 4 feet over the water, it got too murky for me to see inside.
Right.
I'm keep in mind, I'm like a half mile away at this point. I could fly up to 4 miles at a time with the current drone, but the fly time is nothing like the new drones. I'm trying to get an infrared one, so when I go back there next time, I can fly for 30-something minutes at a time on 3 batteries each, so like 90 minutes as each are charging and continually stay in the air to the areas we can't get to, because there are areas behind this lake that Jolissa possibly could be in. We have to keep that in mind as well.
Right.
Anything's possible. Again, thank you for the donations and thank you for the new memberships. Anything that we get during Jolissa's streams, I'll be sending at the end of the month once the money comes in from YouTube. Those super chats and stuff, when I go back to the streams, will be going to them to go towards the reward or whatever else they need for searching. Just so you guys know. People are saying, I feel she was trafficked. What about who she spoke to last or days leading up to this event? Well, we got to know, leading up to this event, she works every day. Jolissa works 6 days a week. She's a hard worker. Yep. She's a good person. She works with a family member. Hasn't missed a day of work in over 2 years that she's worked there. I believe she's been there 2 years now. Works 6 days a week. Bought her own car with cash. She's a very, very good girl. 22 years old. How many people can say they've done that?
Right. That's awesome.
So I thought this would be helpful if I went out there for AWP before. So if they wanted to watch this video, I could give them kind of what they're up against.
Right. I think it was a good idea.
Since I was there at 2 days prior to them coming the following day, I left the next day. I could have stayed and got in the way, but then that would have been me getting in the way.
Right. We don't want to do
Right?
that.
No, yeah, it made no sense. Just for what?
No.
Footage? To get
No.
1,000 extra views and be like, hey, I was there with AWP. That's not why we search for people.
Definitely
They need to
not.
get in and do their jobs. I went in and did my job and got out of there. It was 3 hours away from where I lived. You know, although it costed me about $100 a day, including hotel, it was like $350. You guys make that donations to me sometimes in one stream. And I'm very grateful. And so I get to put it back to people like this. This is how we get to do it, right?
Right. That's what we do it
We
for.
get to go out and we get to, when we can be boots on the ground, we are. When it's in different states, it's tougher. But if something local, you got to make yourself available. They're going to be in San Luis Obispo. They're looking for another missing person. AWP is for right now an older woman in out that way. That's like 5.5 hours from me. But I'll drive it if I can help. But I'm going to wait to find out what they need first, like what they do with it. This video we're going to be watching from AWP is no longer members only. It's been released to the public. It's going to be under commentary purposes, under fair use. But I want to show you where they were at because I was at the same place. And I think it's important that all of us share this on our social medias. Please, you can copy the video, put it on your channel. I don't even care. Please get this missing person out there. Jolissa needs to be found. Her family needs answers, just like the Rounds family and Cooley family needs answers, right? Just like we all need answers for the Wells, just like for Harmony Montgomery, just like for Oakley Carlson. The list goes on and on and on and on, people. But the longer it takes, the harder it is, right?
Right. We've got to keep pushing to keep Jolissa's name out there. And some of the stuff that I've been trying to do is like go to like different Facebook pages, like for different like community pages surrounding Selma. Make sure they have a copy of her flyer, at least on their page. Go to different like tow truck company pages. Make sure they've got a copy of it. Make sure that that information is getting out to as many businesses in the surrounding areas as possible. Because the more people we have that keep her face out there, the better it's going to be.
Right. That.
Water is so green.
It actually it looks a lot clearer above, but when you're next to it, it looks nasty.
Right.
I mean, they were right next to the shore, and they had to stick a pole down into the ground. And you could see that in my live stream. They stuck a pole down, and then their arm into the water, and it went 9 feet, and it was literally at lakeshore.
Look, even the ducks are searching. How helpful.
So it's like almost deeper than it is wide at some point, if you know what I mean. You can see my drone in the water. You see my drone, how low it is to the water. You see the shadow.
Yeah.
You can see the shadow.
There were even ducks searching. Is that the police boat again?
Yeah. Anything you see in the water is police and search. That's the police boat. Now watch, I can hover over them. I want to see what kind of technology they're using. I wanted AWP to see what they have and if they're able to use it properly. They don't have anything but poles. There was no sonar, no nada. There was one boat and one jet ski. That's all they had. There was 3 people out there. And that was only to come out there first, just to make sure they don't miss anything before AWP gets there. Because if you remember, Kylie Rodney was just found days before this.
Right.
Literally a day and a half before this search, we found Kylie Rodney. They didn't want to miss like Placer County.
Yeah, I wonder.
And you know what I was surprised about? They didn't even have a drone out there. And I asked them, do you want me to drone anything for you guys? Is there anything I can help you with? Would you like me to cover some part of the water that maybe you guys haven't yet or quicker? And I'm over here. I'm like, dude, what else do they have? Nothing.
Right. Nothing.
Well, nothing. You got one thing for a jet ski and one thing for a little boat. And there's nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. So I continue to search the shoreline. Right. I'm 15 feet out to the water. And I'm 10 feet up at this point. I mean, how far could a car go into the water into this lake, right? That's
Right.
what I figured it couldn't go any further than that. This
No.
is, and with all that tree and all that trash and everything else, there's no way. And there's no way for them to scrape this thing and like net it off because like there's fish in there. People fish in there. So like you can't kill the wildlife either. You can snorkel it, you can do everything else, but netting it, you would net all the fish, trying to sweep it, trying to get a car or person.
I mean, if anybody did try to put a car off in there, you'd be able to tell. I mean, it would be disturbing all the algae growth you've got going on there.
Right. Like, is the cell phone in there? Is it not in there?
Yeah, that's
really
a
want to know.
possibility. That's a possibility they could have threw that off in there.
Right.
But I mean, trying to find a cell phone in that's going to be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Right. AWP probably couldn't even find it with their sonar. Just that, because it's not man-made. It would just look like something underneath the water, right?
Right.
I agree. All right, we're almost done with this. Let me pull up the AWP video for you guys, and we'll get into that. And you'll see them searching the same lake, the same areas. They're going to see Jolissa's family, her aunt, her cousin, her mom, Norma. I met all these people in real life. I have a live stream of me covering the news interview. They had one the other day. It was another one surprise, but it was right across the street from the police station. We need to make sure we contact the police station and tell them to do their jobs. We're wondering what's going on with Jolissa because they won't contact the family back, and that's a fact.
Right.
We need to help.
That makes no sense to me why the police department is like, we don't even know that they're doing the bare minimum. They won't tell the family anything.
They didn't even take when we were walking around, they were like, bring Jolissa home, bring Jolissa home. We walked around the police station. I actually knocked and called, and they came out, and I handed them a flyer. Can you please put this up? They're like, I got to check to see if it's okay.
Yeah.
Really? You got to check to see if it's okay? We actually own this police department. We pay for it with our tax dollars. Grab a piece of fucking tape and put it in the window now, douchebag. How's that? That's what I should have said. What is that what they want to hear? Because it's facts. That's a fact. We pay their salaries. They should do what we ask them to do, or at least commit to doing their damn jobs.
Exactly. It's not that difficult to put up a flyer on a window. I mean, wouldn't take 2 seconds to get it done.
You had stuff about like donation drives for the police department and all this other crap in the window, but I couldn't get you guys to put her missing flyer in the poster in the mirror or in your window. You got me so fuddled I can't even talk.
Right.
I'm like, ugh.
Somebody needs to go out there and just wallpaper the whole outside of the friggin' building with flyers.
I need to
They'll put that in their pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, I need some THC apparently. Right. All right, you guys. That's the end of that. Look how big that water is. So it's about, from the farthest point, you'd say almost a football field side to side. Halfway to that is halfway. Like I'd say almost 50 yards in between there. It's me flying back to where I started from. So I flew the whole lake twice, actually. I didn't put up all the footage because it would have been so mirrored. I looked at it. I was like, damn, I couldn't tell which I did and which I didn't do.
Right.
But it was all the same. So I was like, screw it. It doesn't matter. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and also keeping this case amongst other cases that we got to deal with, right? It just doesn't start and stop before a live stream, right? There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. If you're really involved as a creator, you're dealing with families, you're dealing with people who are missing people. You have to be cognitive of who you're dealing with. Dealing with Don Wells is totally dealing different with Candace Cooley or dealing different with Norma, right?
Exactly.
It's totally different,
Whole different ball game because
right? Some people
Norma's
you can,
family is amazing. They are
they're not
wonderful
suspects.
people. No,
They're not suspects.
no.
That's the beauty of it. They're not suspects.
They're amazing, wonderful, heartbroken
God-loving,
people that are begging for
God-fearing
help
people. God-fearing, God-loving people. 100%.
all day long.
And they're like my family now. Like they accepted me into their family. Their friend Tony, the aunts, everybody we're about to see right now has accepted me, gave me an opportunity to, well, to be something for them, be a voice,
Right.
to be a voice. Facts. It's an honor. And when you get to that point to where people reach out to you or reach back out to you, and thanks to Brookie helping me get a hold of Norma while I was out searching on foot or droning, she was on the phone, and so was Crime and Justice, and on the Facebooks and on the messengers and doing this, getting a hold of Norma for me. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. That's a fact. It's a fact.
Yep.
That's why I tell you, go over subscribe to these people because I believe in them. It's a fact. All right, let's get into this. All right. Share. Not the share you're thinking of. Not. Do you believe in life?
No, not that. Not that.
It's like I thought she had a stuttering pop. Do you believe in life after love? Love. Love. I can feel. I can feel a need from under the plastic. I can feel it all. Cher's face, like literally, she was in the movie with that guy, and I like Cher a lot, but she was in the movie with that guy, The Mask. Do you remember what his face looked like? That was a true story. His face looked like that. Now she looks like him. It's the weirdest thing.
I know. Like
she looks just like him.
I don't know what these people are doing with their life.
It's a lot of fight that you guys have.
We're not gonna stop fighting. We're gonna bring her home.
If you guys know anything, please let us know where Jolissa is.
Are gonna feel like the ones that have her, like she's ours. Like, please let her go.
Bring Jolissa home.
Do me a favor, and if you're not subscribed, I'm sure you all are, to AWP. Go over there, hit a thumbs up, say who sent you. Tell them thank you for doing Jolissa's case. Let them know they're appreciated, because they are. They didn't have to do this case. Makes you wonder. All those years, people were wondering where their loved ones were. They found them.
So sad.
Right. Prayers to Jolissa and her family for sure.
Definitely.
New at 11, a Selma family is asking for your help in locating their missing daughter. 22-year-old Jolissa Fuentes was seen last Sunday at an AM/PM gas station.
Our family's not complete. It's not complete without her. We're incomplete till she comes home.
Now, loved ones are also expecting help from the independent divers involved in the high-profile search for truckee teen Kylie Rodney.
We're here in Selma, California, looking for 22-year-old Jolissa Fuentes.
So looking at that AM/PM, it's surreal. Not going to lie. I was there, right? I felt like I was there in the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
Doing what they were doing. And it's all for a purpose, right? And that's why their name's so great, because it all has a purpose at the end of the day. And it's an adventure for all of us. Not gonna lie, it's emotional, it's draining, it's time consuming. You feel just as lost as anyone else, but you feel like you need to find answers. It's the weirdest thing when you put yourself in the mix, right? Not just with the people, but with the area where you can sense the feeling of the last place that she was actually physically alive and seen well.
Right. When you build a connection with these families that have missing loved ones, you start taking on their emotions. You start feeling everything that they're feeling, and it's not easy sometimes.
I can't say everything they're feeling, because there's no way to say that we.
Well, no, I mean not.
You know what I mean? But there is a connection there for sure. You're right.
I mean,
there's a 100% connection.
Your heart hurts for them, and whenever they cry, it affects you. You know, it affects all of us.
She went missing one day after Kylie Rodney, people. One day, August 7th. One day. We haven't found Dylan Rounds yet. We haven't found Jolissa yet. We found Kylie Rodney. We need to find these people.
Jolissa was last seen August 7th, 2022. Right behind me here is the AM/PM where she was last seen on video surveillance at approximately 4:06 a.m.
This was where Jolissa's last recorded financial transaction is, as well as the last confirmed sighting of her and or her vehicle occurred. We are now going to jump right over into meeting with Jolissa's aunt, Jolissa's cousin, and Jolissa's mom, so we can get an idea of who Jolissa was as a person, as well as the circumstances leading up to her disappearance. We really appreciate you guys being here and being brave and courageous to tell Jolissa's story. And that's what we're here to do, is be a voice for Jolissa and draw awareness to Jolissa's disappearance. 2 weeks old. There's still so many possibilities in this case. And
sure,
I don't want to find your daughter. I don't want to find your niece or your cousin. I don't.
Those are key words. I don't want to find this. I don't want to find that.
Right.
I don't blame you guys, but you do at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a dreaded reality, or you might find somebody else you're not looking for, and you have to prepare yourself for that too.
It's rough.
We want her to still be out there. I want to be able to finish doing what we do and say, you don't have to worry about any of this. You guys can focus efforts and resources in a more efficient manner elsewhere. You know, so I'll let Nick get started with, some of the questions that we need answered, and it'll be really easy, at any point, if there's a moment we need to take a break, just let us know.
Okay, thanks. Like Doug said, we appreciate this. This is going to help us. So to start this off, what we're going to need to know is kind of a little bit of history on Jolissa and her background. So if you can kind of give us a history of where she was born, where she was from, where did she go to school, what kind of girl she was, what did she do for fun, possible relationships she had, things like that.
She was born here in Selma, California. She went to school here. She graduated, 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. She's 22, so 3 years ago?
4.
Yeah, she graduated from Selma High 3 years ago. Jalissa liked to.
I think it was 4 years ago. And I don't blame them for not remembering, because if I didn't know I graduated in 99, I wouldn't be able to remember either.
Right? If I didn't graduate in 2000,
with her family.
What happened?
I said if it wasn't, I graduated in 2000. That's the only way I can keep up with it.
If I didn't graduate,
right.
The United Way, because the brain's a terrible thing.
Right. Totally.
It's from Dame Bramage from football. Sorry.
Totally.
Spend a lot of time with her cousin, so her cousin knows that area more.
Yeah, she's a very if she's around, you can't be sad or you can't be mad. You can't hold grudges. She would be like, get over it. Like,
beautiful person.
You're gonna get over it. Like, we're family. Leave it alone. If you're sad, you're most definitely gonna laugh if she's in the room, because she's a very sarcastic person. Very sarcastic. She can't take anything serious. she's always joking about something. If you're mad or whatever, she'll make a joke and you'll start laughing. It's just always a good time when she's around, you know?
Life of the party.
Yes.
So basically what they're saying is that she doesn't have problems with people.
No.
She doesn't. Now, here's what happened at the gathering. Jolissa came in and Julie said, "You're loud. Why are you being loud?" And this is her friend. Jolissa didn't realize she did anything wrong, but it has to be more than just she was loud, because it was to get kicked out of your friend's gathering with only a few people there, or some guys there that might have been upset because they had to leave and you ruined their time also because there was family sleeping. People are out to get people. Or did she take somebody with her? Did a guy say, "Hey, I'll go with you"? Did a guy stay in her car? She runs in the house. She calls her brother. Nothing happens. She grabs her purse and bones out with this guy, grabs another friend after going to the AM, PM and grabbing a blunt wrap. It's a very good possibility she had somebody with her. Who was with her? We need to know that. That's who I think the witness is. If you want to know my opinion.
I mean, that's why I would like to know, everybody that was there, but I have not been able to find that information.
Oh, I will give it to you.
Okay.
Because I think the family has just had enough. And it doesn't matter who you got to throw under the bus now to find answers. I don't care.
Okay.
Leave it on me. Right? Leave it on me.
All right. We'll do it.
Light to the party.
Definitely,
yes.
tell her to
Definitely
dance, she'll dance.
Yeah.
Put on this silly hat, she'll put on the silly hat. Do a little, I don't know, some of the videos that I put up of her, she's doing like a little dance and then she's telling all her brothers and you do it. And
she's very carefree. Like she doesn't care what anybody thinks about her or what anybody says about her,
Very dependable.
Very. She's a worker bee, She wouldn't miss
6 days a week, doesn't miss work. 40 plus hours a week. Very independent. Lives with her grandparents. Why? Because it's closer to her work. Not because she hates her family. It's not that way. Her mom lives in Fresno. Her mom has younger kids too. So this is, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, her family's got there's a bunch of people in that family, you guys. They're very close, all of them.
She saved up her own money, paid for her own vehicle.
Right.
She's very independent and took care of herself.
Pays rent in her grandma's house. She doesn't live there for free.
Right.
Right. She was very independent. And
work. That's why we knew too. When when she went missing that Monday morning, I went to her job and waited out there just in case she showed up. Just in case she showed up to work, Yeah. And when she didn't,
so she went missing Saturday night. Sunday she was off. People. She worked 6 days a week. She was off Sunday.
Yeah.
They didn't. And was it unlikely for her to sleep over or something in someone's house if she drank or did something? No, it wasn't. So they weren't really worried about it the next morning. Her cousin was the one she works with at the supermarket was supposed to hang out with her that night, but she fell asleep. Didn't happen. So Jolissa went to this gathering instead. That's a fact.
Show up, even more so our hearts were broken because she never does a no call, no show. She's worked at her employer for almost 2 years, and so her not spending her money, and we know something's wrong because Jolissa, she was a saver. Like she saved all her money, bought her own car, paid cash.
Responsible.
Yes, and she still had her money in the bank, and she just loved her family. Like she was very selfish.
Very much so. And her family loves her very much so. And Norma and the rest of the family want her home. If you have any information on Jolissa, please contact the number on the flyer. It's a $15,000 reward. Use it, take it, donate it back to whoever you have to. Make the phone call. Do you have the number handy?
Yep, I'm going to post it right now.
Thank you. Please post the number. If you have any information, this family deserves answers. Facts. And they don't deserve to be swept under the rug or carpet either. Selma, get your acts together.
Right.
Hilarious, outgoing. You knew she was there. She was a presence. And so not having her in our household has been, presence is missing, and it's going to be missing until we find her. And that's why we're so grateful to you guys, because we know and we're praying and trusting in God that she's not out there. But we need to move from that, like you said, and we need to move to keep searching. And so, but 100%, this was anybody else in our family, Jolissa would be doing the same thing. She would be the one out there and saying, not stop. These kiddos, like her brother and her sister and Sky and her boyfriend have been out. They get up, crack of dawn, 6 o'clock in the morning till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning every day.
So the youngest son is a boxer as well. He's a fighter. You're probably going to be a professional fighter soon. Last thing I want is him finding the person first that did this to his sister. Wouldn't be fair to the world or him.
No.
Right?
We don't
Think
want
about
that.
what they've done and who they affected. The family needs therapy no matter how you look at it. I'm not going to lie. They're good people who deserve help. They need an advocate that's going to reach out that they can trust. They need the police to start doing their fucking jobs.
Exactly. It's not
Selma,
too much to
do
ask.
your job, Selma. Or go under the radar. I'll pull every one of your salaries and put it online. If you guys won't want to do your jobs, I'm going to show how much you're making not to do your jobs. Every single one of you. How's that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Day, every day, nonstop. That was our morning. 6 o'clock we get up. We're out there till 11, 12 o'clock night. All of us searching these fields, calling each other.
Yeah.
We're over
Sharing all our
here. Locations now. Locations is a must for all of us now. Like we need to know where we're at, and so
it's a lot of fight that you guys have.
we're not gonna stop.
Locations is a must. Keep on track.
Stop fighting. We're gonna bring her home. Like we're gonna bring her home. We know and we trust that she's out there somewhere, and we're gonna bring her home. So whoever has her, or if she's with someone, we're not gonna stop looking. You guys need to know that we're not gonna stop looking. Like we are gonna find her. Like there is no way that we're not gonna find her.
Can you tell me about any sort of like hobbies that she liked to do or things she liked to do on her free time?
She loved to go out of town. Like that was her thing. Yeah, drive. She liked to go to the beach. She liked to go to the lake. She just liked to kind of go places.
So out of town to them is like 45 minutes to an hour max.
Right.
Out of town, not overnight.
No.
Did she sleep at a family member's house on like a kid's bed before because she was drunk? Yeah. She did. Does she drive when she's drunk? No, not usually. Did she drink a little bit at that party? Yeah, she had a little bit to drink, but she got kicked out.
Right.
She had to leave. She wasn't too drunk not to get home. She made it home safely, went inside, grabbed what she needed. Not an overnight bag, nothing like that. She just grabbed a little backpack, a little Coach backpack or whatever it is that goes over your bag that you use instead of a purse. Just a little one to keep your credit card, your debit cards, so a little bit of cash, maybe like some bubble gum, stuff like that.
Where she could clear her mind if she needed to.
Exploring and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like being out.
Yeah.
But the one thing about her is
you know what's key about that? She likes to drive around. At what time? So to say that she wasn't followed would be something you can't deny. She might have been followed. She's a target. Why? Because she's a woman. Look at what happened to Eliza Fletcher. Right?
That's possible. And I've been hearing from a lot of women out there that there's been times, especially at night, if women are driving alone, that men will pull up beside them and try to get them to pull over, like telling them, hey, you got a flat or whatever. And they're trying to lure these women into pulling over for, what reason? Are they trying to kidnap them? Is it trafficking or?
Right. Anonymous dude, what's going on? I saw your video, by the way. Hilarious. I'm not going to lie, though. They do have a video, her coming back in, but they're not telling the family what camera it actually showed her coming back into town on, because I gave them examples of all the cameras that I found in that town, and they couldn't tell me anything. They're like, they wouldn't tell us where they saw her. All they're saying is she was alone. They don't know who was laying down in the back seat or whatever. Her windows were tinted as hell. Show me the cameras. She'd have to be coming back through the town up Nebraska and take a left onto Highland and then go to Avocado Lake that way. Or you can stay on Nebraska Street that turns into 2nd, and then you can make a left under the freeway, and it takes you a little bit longer, but it takes you a little higher up the interstate that you hit. I think at Interstate 8, I can't remember, 80, I think. Something to that effect, where you drive up. We saw it earlier on my video that I was turning on down the road to Avocado Lake.
Right.
They said she was alone. Yeah. How do they know that? I want to see the cameras. What they're not doing is showing the cameras. And actually, they froze the phone records. They won't even let the family see Jolissa's phone records. This is what's weird. You should be able to see your daughter's phone records. They won't let her see the last phone calls. No, nothing. Right. Nothing.
And I don't know why. Like, that's.
No.
Makes no
She
sense.
didn't ever drive on the freeway.
Yeah, no, she doesn't know how to drive on the freeway.
Yeah, she was too scared.
So going a long ways from here.
I like that. I like that.
She wouldn't ever drive on the freeway. So if she did drive on the freeway, we know someone was driving her. So it was either her friend, her brother.
Is there a reason for that? She's just scared of that.
She's just scared of the freeway.
She never even drove to my house.
I said that in my videos.
Right.
Before this came out, people.
To my house in Fresno. I live in Fresno.
45 minutes away.
My son would drive them to my house because she doesn't drive on the freeway. And my 16-year-old drives on the freeway, and he'd be like, "Come on, Jolissa, like, why aren't you driving? You know, get it together."
No. She's like, "No, the freeway." So we know for sure that if she's on the freeway, like someone has her, because she would drive to like Pine Flat or Avocado.
Yeah, that's it. Like she wouldn't.
Pine Flat
she
and
wouldn't get on
Avocado.
here
Yeah,
exactly.
Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no big freeways. Like she was scared of them.
So did she have, was she in a relationship at all?
No.
Not at the moment, okay.
No relationship, just her friends that she hangs out with. I know that, I don't know if you're familiar with this, she did go to like a family friends gathering that was like.
You know what's completely awesome is all of these questions I asked to them in their interviews prior to them having to show up. I'm not trying to say give myself a pat on the back, but I was hoping that I gave them a good interlude and a segue into this case, because the only thing we can do is help search, right? Use our own money, whatever it takes. Go do the right thing. Again, this is a family that is hurting. They have Crime and Justice. If you have her PayPal and her Cash App, it should be the same. It's her email address. But also, if you have her GoFundMe, that's also a way you guys could help support that family. Please.
I do have the GoFundMe.
Keep that in mind.
A party for a family friend, and she was there, and you know, from that on.
And where was that at?
That was here in Selma.
It's like down the street from my grandma's house.
From her house.
And that, when was the party?
That same day she went missing.
The same day she went missing. Yeah. So that morning, she left there. I think was it about
2:30ish, 3 o'clock?
Yes.
In the morning.
Yeah. She left there about 2:33, and then she came home.
She called Joey, baby Joey, and then from there, that last thing, she was at the AM/PM at 4:06 a.m. She takes off to the country, and then at 5:24 or 5:26, she makes a FaceTime call to my daughter.
So she was at an AM/PM gas station. That's where she was caught on video surveillance, and that's here in Selma.
Yes, down the street.
And then this was after the party.
After the party.
Okay.
At
And do we know what she was doing at the gas station?
She was buying something. She bought something, and then she swiped her card. She walked into the car, and then she took off west.
Do we know what she bought?
I don't know.
They didn't tell us. We wanted to see the receipts, and they
kept everything. Yeah.
Oh, so but the police department has that.
As far as we know, it's only a cigar wrap.
Right.
They probably do. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Crime and Justice. Do you have the video of her coming from her in the store?
I should have. Let me look for it.
If you do, text it to me. I can't get into my phone right now since I'm playing the video from there. So I will. Thank you for looking for that. I know you played it the other day when we did this on your channel, so I know that you have it somewhere. Otherwise, I can look if you don't. Don't stress out.
Because I mean, that whole time when we were when she went down Nebraska
Avenue.
Yeah,
right?
we were searching all that time, but I guess they had the footage already that she had came back into town, and we didn't know.
We were out there in the country for days. All of us.
For
even our family.
Dago, let me tell you something. There's a cop. He was Hawaiian who was out here. I believe he's in Orange County or something like that, or some other state. Hopefully it wasn't California, but I remember it. He actually would molest prostitutes and women and pull people over and take advantage of them. And he got 350 something years for this.
Wow.
So if something's being covered up or something's happened, I'm not going to say she wasn't pulled over. How do we know that she wasn't pulled over? If the cops aren't releasing shit, how do we know that she wasn't pulled over and then some cop did something? We don't. Right. That's why it's so important for them to start releasing stuff.
We were going through roads and like.
And so you said they have her coming back into town.
Right.
When, like, what was the time gap there?
They didn't tell us the time. They just said her phone was pinged in the Avocado Lake area that morning. That was the last ping.
But we didn't get that until like barely last week, right? Because we started searching on our own. So
hey, you can express your grievances as paying taxpayers of America to any law enforcement bureau because you pay taxes and your tax dollars goes to their paychecks.
Exactly.
Right? We agree, government. Do it. Do it. Write letters. Make phone calls. The only way they're going to change is if they hear from us. That's a fact. Regress your government.
we were out there for a whole week, like with major search teams, searching those fields, those vineyards, those ditches, those trees. Abandoned houses, abandoned property. You know, for about a week, having mass searches out there, that whole area. Drones. Eagle One, they reached out, and Eagle One was helicoptering, out there, and then they ended up coming. We didn't find out. She turned back into the news conference that they had. That she came back into town, and that's when we knew, like, whoa, she came back into town. We didn't know. We spent so much time.
So how do they know?
So they let these people waste so much time searching without telling them, and then all of a sudden, back in town, miss me with that bullshit.
You know, she came back into town.
They said they have her on camera. They have her footage of her coming back in town. That because I was like, when the chief called my husband, where they were talking, and I said, well, do you guys have her, like, did she come back into town by herself? And he goes, I could tell you she came back came back from the country by herself, but I'm not going to tell you.
By herself, but I'm not going to tell you what. Why?
Why?
Tell you where.
Did they give a time?
No.
She did. She came back alone, but I'm not going to tell you what time. What the fuck's going on with that?
No. And they didn't tell us, because when she went out, they said she was by herself. So they said possibly she drove to Sanger, and so right because they said Sanger on the conference and
Singer. I went everywhere. There's no reason she should have gone to Singer.
No,
she shouldn't have gone to Singer at all. True crime never stops. Thank you for that. You got to keep going, and these cases need to be talked about. It's not about the money. It's not about the clout. It's about getting these names out. That's a fact. I'm not going to sit here and do like, hey, got all these subscriber reward shows and all this other BS. There's cases to talk about. The more subscribers I get, the more people listen, and bless you guys for wanting to subscribe or sharing this out or donating or thumbs up or whatever you want to do, thumbs down. Keep this story out there. Share it on your social medias. Do us a favor. Please, Dago, go ahead and use this on your channel. I don't care. Use whatever I've got on my channel. Keep the names out there. Get your watch hours and get people listening. I don't care. If you hit me up or if I like you or you ask me in the right way, yeah. But everyone, if you're a good person and you're doing it in the right way, feel free to use it. Feel free. Anything. Anything. Keep the story alive. Hashtag Jolissa Fuentes. Keep the algorithm up. I don't care. Live stream me while I'm streaming. If you're the wrong person, I'll strike you. If you're the right people sharing it the right way, I don't care.
Exactly. It's
don't care.
Name out there.
Keep these people's name out there the right way. Otherwise, I'll strike you.
Sanger's going towards Avocado Lake. You go through that town, right? And she would go through there because I don't think she would go the other route because it's the freeway. And so
she had to go through little roads.
Yeah, she had to go through little roads. And so, but they didn't say at that point if she was with someone at that time, so they wouldn't disclose to us. And so we were like, wow, we had many people out there searching for days out there. Days.
And coming into this, everybody's been telling me Pine Flat, Avocado Lake, and I mean those still are areas of interest for me. I guess my biggest question in this at the moment is we have to identify if they know it was her in the vehicle. So if they're confident that it was her vehicle, I need to know how do they know she was in the vehicle? You know what I mean? It's an active investigation, so they're never going to be open the way you want them to. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, and it's not helping your hearts or your minds. But that's normal because, you know, they always have to investigate.
To not be given anything by investigators of your own kid, there's a crime involved. What the fuck is the information I need to know about my kid to look for them since you're not?
Exactly. That's a huge
You're not.
problem. They're not doing anything.
No, let us look. And they have, let me tell you what, they have planned searches coming up. And if I can't get out there as soon as possible with the new drone that you guys want to help with, then I'm going to buy it myself. It's not a big deal. The thing is this, we're going back out there and we're going to search the places that they're not. This family needs help.
Exactly.
They're not getting answers. Selma, the whole point of this tonight is to get your fucking attention. I hope it works.
Things, you know, for the worst case scenario. And they have to treat everybody like they may be a suspect. So they're not going to be open all the time.
We told them that.
Investigate us first,
we said, please, you know,
get us out the way.
Yeah, we said, please start with us.
You know,
start with us. Because we know how it is.
Yeah,
start with us. We're all open. Come to our house, rip them apart, do what you need to do to get us out of the way so you can focus on her and where you need to go. Exactly. Because we're trusted in you guys, you know, and so we understand that whole part of them not being able to divulge information to us because it could be critical, and there's so many of us, and you know, we told them, but we're a resource to you guys. If you guys, we don't have a big department here.
Did you hear, like, hey, we're a resource to you guys,
right?
Let us help. Let us help. We're a resource. Yeah, you have a lot of people. That you'll have 6 people, but 20 cars in the parking lot. You got 6 people on staff for the department for Selma, and one's on leave, and one is the detective on this case. There's 2 detectives, and one that's handling is on leave, and they can't get a hold of anybody. How sick is that?
It is. I mean, there's no reason for that. I don't understand what is the police department's issue with working with the family. That's what they're supposed to be there for, is to help the family.
Selma Police Department and make your grievances. Tell them to get off their asses and work this case.
And they're doing the best that they can, but we're a resource, you know, and you tell us
I won't strike you, Frankie. You're good.
A smaller location, we can have over 100 people here searching. We're a resource. And so we will be present. We just need your help, you know? And they're doing their best. We know they are. They limited resources, people, you know, the time of COVID and people getting ill. It's just, but that's why we started to reach out. And if she's in those waters, we just need that peace of mind to move on from there. So,
and then do you guys have any theories as to what happened to her?
The thing about Jolissa, she always told people where she was. Like, she told me that night that she was at her friend's gathering, and then she called her brother to tell him that she was going to the AMPM. And I don't know what the last call was for, but to her sister later on that night. But she did always call and tell people where she was going. She never would go somewhere without leaving everybody clueless about where she was.
She's smart.
Yes, she's smart.
She knows.
Like a little heads up.
Yes,
you know?
always, yeah.
And they said that she made a phone call at 5:26 a.m.
Yeah, was the last time she ever, that we know to us that she called.
I'm sorry, were you talking Crime and Justice?
I sent you that video.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I have a hard time.
I emailed it and I texted it, so I don't know which one works better for you. So
don't yell at me, Crime and Justice. Oh, look. I know my phones are stuck right now because I got audio going on one and a video going on my computer. I don't know what's been going on with my downloader. I can't download audio, but so I have audio at least backed up for you guys always, just as a safety mechanism, which thank God, because preparation is key. The less, well, it's the more you sweat and practice, the less you bleed in war. Right. That's how I go by.
She called my sister, my daughter.
At that hour, is the sun just coming up? Because
it's just coming.
Yeah, it's just coming up. There's
it's
light.
still kind of dark.
It's still kind of dark, but there's like, you know, the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes about from the AM PM if she was at Avocado Lake. So like for us, we're like, okay, well she was out there at 4:06, and then the call came at 5 something. There's a whole hour there. Like what happened in that hour?
Exactly.
Like, there's something happened. She stopped somewhere. She went somewhere. So we have done all the coordinates. We started mapping. We did the timing. So it takes about almost 45 minutes to an hour to get to Avocado Lake from AM PM. So we timed it and try to like see the routes how we would possibly.
So we all talked about this, and thank God, because they're actually talking about stuff that we needed to figure out. And they did what I asked. I told them, and I have my text to their friend Tony about how long it actually takes to get from the AM PM to Avocado Lake. And they were shocked how fast it was. They didn't realize how close it was. They thought it was longer.
Wow, right.
So I'm glad they're bringing up time frame here. This is important. Time frame is so important in this case. 100%.
It's the most important thing right now.
Yep. And most important is who was with her at that AM PM in the back seat.
We stopped
with
at
her at
people's
all.
houses. Do you have cameras? Everybody, if you can let us know your cameras to see at your homes, just to take
The AM PM is shady.
I'm more than willing to.
They don't want to
put
help.
the time in to look at your cameras if you're too busy.
The AM PM is 100% shady. There's a lot of drug sales there. It's a corner spot, a hot spot for drugs, sex, and rock and roll. They don't want to talk or do anything. It's going to affect their business.
Busy.
Condom sales.
So no other financial transactions on her card.
That we know. They told us no. They said that was the last purchase that she made there. She didn't have credit cards. She didn't like to, she's really good with her money.
Very good with her money. She bought her car cash.
Right?
She was like, I ain't paying for that. Like, I'm giving my money.
Did she carry large amounts of cash or?
No, she kept everything on her card.
Yeah, that's why we know. Like, hasn't used any of her money. She has all this money in the bank. It's just nothing.
All this money in the bank.
I don't know if they have information, and they're probably not. We don't know because disclosing, they don't want to like hinder.
You know what that tells me? If none of her money's been touched, that the sexual assault and this ditching of the body and the car, I'm going to have to say the car went to a chop shop very easily.
Right.
Car may never be found. Would have been found by now. I think it would have been found by now, whether it was in an underground parking or somebody else in a parking lot. It would have been located by now.
Right.
It hasn't been. Has not been.
No.
Make it make sense. You can't. You can't make that make sense at all.
Their operation, and we understand that we're a huge family and we have so many people willing to help that they know that if they tell us something, we're gonna go in a mass number to go search or what. So they've really been,
I didn't hear his interview,
but
Which we have.
But because she's ours,
It's all going.
she's our priority. I mean, we appreciate everybody and everything,
if
but
you want my 100% honesty, which I hope you guys always would, and I always give it to you, I've never, ever watched this video either. Every time I do a live reaction on something, I don't watch it ahead of time because I don't want to give you some false kind of narrative. That's why I'm so shocked that they're saying the same things that I had said, because we've talked about it, and I'm so happy they're implementing it into this case, and it's the questions they have.
when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we don't still have her home, we still have that void, and we're still looking, and we're going to continue to look until she comes home.
She's our baby. She's our baby girl. So we gotta find her. We gotta bring her home.
Yeah. Was there at any time any type of drugs related in her life, or was there anybody in her circle that was involved with drugs, or
drinking and just drinking?
Just normal drinking, party.
Not like any
social
hardcore drugs that.
Yeah.
No hardcore drugs.
All right. And where did you guys work?
Same questions I asked. No hardcore drugs, no ex-relationships, no ex-boyfriends, no ex-girlfriends, nothing like that. 6 days a week, always work. 1 day a week she was off. Sundays.
No risk factors at all for her to become a missing person.
None. Who targeted her and why?
Exactly.
Some sicko or somebody who was angry enough to do something to her because she ruined a party for them or a gathering. Who knows? I'm not saying Julie, but I'm talking about other people that were there that we don't know yet. It's those ones that we don't know, and we've been wrong about the other ones. I'm not going to lie about that. Everything we looked up have been already decontaminated, if you may.
Right.
Thrown in and denied. So.
And at Custom Produce and Parlor.
Okay. So my sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law, runs that whole packing house, and that's the daughter.
Produce packing house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the manager there, and then this is my niece, and then that's where Jolissa worked.
So who initially reported her missing?
Grandma, right?
Grandma.
How did that happen? Like, it was like, all right, we have to do this.
Grandma went to church and then texted her, and then she didn't respond. Grandma goes to church, comes back out, and
which is not abnormal too much. But the abnormal part is the no contact, because Jolissa, even if drunk, wouldn't sleep in that late.
No.
She wouldn't. She doesn't. She's got an alarm clock in her head. She's got a work schedule that still affects her sleep the way it is. She had a little better sleep, or was able to pass out and didn't have any responsibility really if she needed to like that. But I'm going to say Jolissa is not irresponsible. She's not neglectful. She's not non-contactful. She always lets all of her family and people know where she is and how she's doing it. She knows she always lets them know where she's going. She contacts her family. She hangs out with family. If her brother wasn't in Fresno and he was the first point of contact, and she did talk to him. A lot of people said she couldn't get in contact with him. That's false. She was able to. He was in Fresno, 45 minutes away plus.
Right.
She was like, okay, then I'll go smoke. I'm going to get some blunt wraps. And she had somebody either with her, or she went and picked somebody up before the AM PM, then went to the AM PM to grab the blunt wrap, and then went back east down Nebraska. It's the only thing she could have done. Between the 3:15 that she left the house with her bag to the 4 a.m. where she was saw on cameras at the AM PM, there was a time where she had a chance to go pick someone up, right? We have 30 to 40 minutes that we can think about, since the last call we know is like 3:58 and a little after that.
Right. It doesn't take her nowhere near that long to get down to the
40. It's almost, she lives almost a minute away.
Right.
There's no way. She had to pick up somebody in between leaving her house and going to the AM PM. That's the only fucking way that makes sense. Facts.
Exactly.
And sends her another text message. She doesn't respond. She knew something was wrong.
And she said, and we always have a family joke, like, if she doesn't answer, then she was like, hey, you need to get a hold of Jolissa, or like, you know what I mean? Like, or any of the kids, like, if you don't call within 8 hours, we're on you, like, hey, where are you at? And so when she didn't text her, respond back, my mom texted her, hey, you don't text me right now or call me. I'm calling the FBI. Like we say that to each other. Yeah. And then boom, she's like, okay, I'm here. I'm here. I mean, I fell asleep or whatever, but never a whole day, like never more than like 8 hours. She's always checking in. So we knew instantly like something was wrong. Like we
never more than 8 hours.
This is out of her character.
And were you there when that happened?
No.
Never more than 8 hours. Write that down if you have a journal or a notebook for this case. I suggest it. This is how you investigate. I guess the best way. I'm not saying this is the only way, but like going back to the beginning and even with your own searches, a lot of this is validatable through what I've already been through.
Right. It is.
Right. So it's easy to relate to. But to you guys, you may have like different questions. Just be notable on what you're listening to and what you're thinking about. Have your little notebook out and say, okay, it's this time and this time. This doesn't make sense. It's 38 minutes from the AM PM to the. I made it in 38 minutes to Avocado Lake during the day. At night, you could probably go faster. There's no cops out there. I saw a cop one time the whole 2 days I was out there, unless I was at the police station.
Right. They seem to have a lot of cop cars for
one cop car out the whole effing time. Yeah. One cop car.
But we've seen quite a few of them parked.
Well, there was like 20 of them parked. I'm telling you right now, they only had 6 people live on the department right now, working.
Wow.
Oh, no, I live in Fresno. Yeah. Okay. I live in Fresno. Grandma called me like a couple hours later, and she's like, hey, this is what's going on. And we zoomed over here.
So as a mom, when was that moment? Like you knew, like something wasn't right. Was it when Grandma called?
When Grandma called and she said she hasn't answered. Jolissa's not answering. Jolissa hasn't came home. So right then and there, I knew there was something wrong.
Yeah. Completely out of character.
Completely out of character. Like she would have called Grandma. She would have texted Grandma back. She would have called her brothers and sister, and she wasn't. So we all knew there was something wrong here.
Did the grandma say when she tried calling, or when you guys tried to call, did it go straight to voicemail?
I still try to call. Like, I call her every day and I tell her, like, hey, we're going to find you wherever you're at. Like, you just don't give up hope. Like, we're coming for you, Jolissa. Like, if you do have your phone and it turns on for some reason, like, we're blowing her up, you know, like, every day I text her every day, like, I love you. We're coming for you. Don't lose hope, because we have faith. You were raised in church, you were raised, you know, to know the Lord. You have to have faith. We're coming for you. We're going to find you, you know.
Did Jolissa have any type of physical or health problems?
No.
None. So she didn't take medication for anything?
No.
She's completely healthy, young, bright, beautiful, energetic.
Yeah, silly, super silly.
The year, make, and model of her vehicle?
It's a Hyundai Accent, 2011 silver.
4 doors, correct? 4 doors.
The back windows are tinted.
Back windows are tinted.
Because they're a little bit bubbly, like, yeah. They're
Okay, so it's an older tint.
Yeah. The license plate is AMPU 766. It's engraved in our frame.
What tips have come in?
Hundreds and hundreds of my phones blowing up. Like, okay, we seen this car over here on this area. Traver, Kingsburg, Cutler. Okay, who's closer to here? Yeah. One of us go over there. It's not the car. We've seen this, you know, this vehicle over here, and then who's closer by there? There we go. Yeah. So we're out there. And so I was like, okay, like, if you guys can take a picture, like, if you see or you're suspecting, take a picture of the license, send it to me, so then, you know, we won't go an hour away. And it, you know, we even went to like these mountains in Cutler, Norosi. Some lady was like, no, I seen some guy standing here. That was the vehicle. So there goes me and my husband. He had to climb a big old hill, and there was nothing there. Yeah. But we got to check them all out.
Right, because you never know if it's that one, you know.
So at the time, Jolissa was staying with grandma?
Yes.
Yeah, Jolissa lives with grandma.
Yeah.
Jolissa lives with grandma.
Yeah.
And what about her room? Is there any clothes missing?
No,
is there any signs of anything?
Everything, the bed's made, everything.
Nothing alarming whatsoever.
Nothing. It's still
Nothing
all
missing.
her Amazon bags and all her ordering.
She didn't take an overnight bag. She didn't take something to be gone long. That's why there's foul play.
No, she had no plans.
Nope.
You know,
and her bed's made, like everything.
She was gonna come, like, her intent was to come home. Like, she called her brother, and he was out in Fresno, and he was gonna come home, and said that they were gonna meet up. Like, you know,
she was, I'll go to the store, be right back.
I'll go to the store. And
did she have anything planned over the next few days?
No, Sunday, she usually just relaxes because she works Monday. So
everything I'm getting is this is completely uncharacteristic.
Everything I've told you guys is identical to this.
100%. Not like her. Not even an inkling of
not even an
yes.
inkling. 100%, no doubt.
This is very, you know, and this is alarming. You know, we're not talking about someone who, you know, was familiar with, you know, the streets and the life of the streets and, you know, shady characters. And
that's why we knew since day one that there was something wrong, because this is not her. Like, not even a little bit.
Tell me more about the cell phone information.
Well, they haven't released anything to us at all.
Not a time. They didn't give a time on that ping.
What about?
No,
what
they said early morning.
Okay,
Sunday.
so tell
Well,
me.
they said 5:30 to 8. Remember, 5:30 to 8.
5:30 to 8. Miss me with that bullshit.
Day.
The Acres?
The avocado, like the ping, I think it was between 5:30 and 8 or something like that. But
could the cops be sending them somewhere wrong completely?
They didn't tell us, like, they said a 15-mile.
Yeah, I've spoken with Fresno County Sheriff.
So whatever they shared with you, that's what they've only shared with you.
Yeah, I've spoken with the sheriff.
You know, it's great if they don't find Jolissa, because they're like, oh, this is the last place they pinged, and we know they're coming to look for her next. This is the last place she pinged. Yeah, show us the proof of that. Like we've seen in all these other cases, like Kylie's phone, where it last pinged. Show us where the last phone ping was, instead of just telling.
Off the record, I mean,
back on.
I can't tell you what she told me, but I can tell you that what they have was just very vague, which was just an area, and that the cell phone tower in that region.
I got the same stuff as them.
Region is not accurate like it would be in, say, the city of Fresno or Selma, where they can really get a good
It
grip.
was within 5 to 10 miles of Avocado Lake. They're not telling you that.
Grip of it.
Yeah.
So to kind of see what they know, let's talk about what they did. Like, where did they go first to search?
We don't know. When we were out there searching, we didn't see one cop out there searching with us at all. It was just us for the whole week. For the whole week, it was us and our family and our like complete strangers that were coming and searching with us. We didn't see. We were even giving out flyers to, like, if we would see like a sheriff out there in the country, we would stop by and we'd give them a thing. They didn't even know. Yeah, they didn't even know. We'd give them a flyer, and because me and my husband, we stopped with the sheriffs, we stopped with highway patrols, like any time that we seen like any police.
Half the time they just toss the flyer away.
Police enforcement out there, we're handing them flyers. They didn't even know, even though we made it clear to them that this was urgent, that this is unlikely. Like her, she would not do this, and we started immediately. We started immediately posting, and then it just we got, because we know a lot of people, just trickled down.
That night, we were already.
But we knew since day one. I don't know if they took it but to me it seems like they didn't take it as urgent as we did.
Because I mean, we understand. We understand. We understand. There's so many people just
and they don't know.
Don't come home. They might want to just go out. They're like, she's a typical 22-year-old. Kids go out. I mean, heck, I can say when I was young like that, I would.
There's like a missing person every 9 seconds and a murdered person every 6 seconds, something to that effect.
I would go out and, sometimes not come home. But Jolissa wasn't like that. She made it clear to let people know that where she was at. She
doesn't fall into the child category. She falls into the runaway / well, I really hope they think that she was obstructed because she wouldn't just leave. So obviously, she's been abducted, right? It's the only thing that she could be.
There's nothing that points to that she would have just walked away from her family and her life.
So why no Amber Alert or anything? Because her car hasn't been found and it's her car. That's why.
Well, they put the bolo out of her
nobody
vehicle
to abduct her to show that it's an abduction because her car's the one seen driving back. But we can't find that video, or we're not shown that. So is it or isn't it? Is it or isn't it?
Right. Why will they not tell us or tell the family what other road she was seen on and picked up on camera? Right. At least that would give them some direction to start looking in. But they're not even willing to give them that. That's bullcrap.
Sky and her brother and sister, they were best friends, and they always communicated with each other. And so for her not to come home, it was just, we knew. Until the search, we had people that reached out to us, we had family friends that had helicopters, and they're like, we're out there, we want to help. Family friends that had
there's something now called an endangered persons alert. That's where it should be.
Right.
That's what it should be. Not an Amber Alert, not any other alert. It should be an endangered person alert or a red alert, depending on what where it's stated in. We have now Fruitland Police with Michael Vaughn, who has created the endangered person alert. Why aren't we using it?
Exactly. Why aren't they doing anything?
Public, we have drones. They've been pushing. PD said that they went out there and did drones and they flew. That we know, they never told us, and so we don't really know.
Liars.
If they told the media, then they told media. But to tell us directly, no, we don't know what.
So no official, search parties that of have been organized from them.
In the city, no, I don't.
The amount of time she's been missing.
Not here.
Not here. Yeah,
absolutely not.
No.
Yeah,
that's actually a great question, Susan. And thank you for all your emails and everything. That's a great question. Why did the cops turn this into a criminal case? Because the amount of time she's been missing.
Right.
That's about it.
But you remember in that one press conference, they were pretty much complaining that, it's going to be hard to figure it out because she's not on social media.
Be on the lookout is an endangered person, but it's not the same thing as the endangered person alert. There's an actual endangered person alert for Michael Monkey Vaughn that was created on July 1st and that was signed off on and actually instilled into, well, our world. Right?
Right.
Signed off on before that, and then July 1st, it kicked into effect. The endangered person alert. Right? That's where it should be. Bolo is be on the lookout. Anybody can throw a bolo out.
Right.
Anybody.
I
don't get bolo alerts on my phone.
From Fresno County Sheriff. I mean, I know that they told me that they've done a lot of searching up in the hills. I think she described over 700 miles of back road driving and by her sheriff.
Let's just say instead of going to Avocado Lake, they drive behind Avocado Lake and then they drive into the orchards to start smoking. Say a farmer catches them. One dude gets away, the other person doesn't.
Right. I mean, that's possible too. That's why I asked if there was any way
you
to
go on someone's property out there, they're shooting first and asking questions later. And then they have backhoes too. They can bury and dig you. They could bury you and your car on their land and you'll never be found out there. Facts. 100%. I've driven by the farms and the industrial areas. You'll never be found. Plus, there's no phone reception anywhere up there. So there's a good chance you'll never, ever be seen or pinged on.
I did bump into one of them, like, because
probably in the hills and probably like a week after that we had been searching us, unknown to us.
Right.
But that we knew of when we were out here in the country, there was nobody out there but us.
So no tips that were credible or have led to anything, no theories that, oh, this might have happened or this argument may have happened or nothing like that whatsoever.
Well, with Julie, she did get in an argument that morning.
Yeah, she got in an argument with her at the family gathering. It was her best friend's family gathering. She got in an argument with her friend that was there.
But that's not.
And I have that recorded and on my channel live at the news conference with them. I didn't want to play it to waste time. I wanted to get through this and not make it a 5-hour live. I want you guys to be able to share this and people to keep attention for an hour and a half to 2 hours and be able to keep the story alive. Anything over 2 hours, people don't want to watch, and the attention process and the attention span sucks.
Right.
Almost done.
It wasn't a physical fight or anything. It was just a little argument.
It's just a normal
friend argument.
Yes.
Her family doesn't deny that she smokes weed. It's not a big deal. Weed is totally legal in California, and that's where we are. Selma is California. There's dispensaries everywhere out there. I brought my own weed out there because I don't know what I'm getting where I go. Otherwise, where I get it from. So I'll tell you, the dispensaries I get it from, I know. But I'll never buy it from another town or a county until I know what I'm dealing with. But
You guys don't get that twisted.
legal.
I mean, is there something I don't know? But if it's not alarming to you guys, and your family, then it's just something normal that happened.
For questioning, they did all that.
And so did we. And we did too. We went over there.
In a mass number, we interrogated her.
Well, anything like any little tip that we got, we go out there and we investigate anything.
If something has happened to her, like, what do you guys want people to know? I mean, what like at this moment, if that's the case, somebody knows something, and they need to come forward, So if there's anything that you want to say to those people or to the people that may know those people that may know something,
come forth. If you guys know anything, please let us know where Jolissa is. We love her, we miss her, and we need her. We want her home. So if you know anything and anything that
His family's missing her.
That'll lead us to her, please let us know.
Or if you the ones that have her, she's ours. Please let her go. That our family is not complete without her, and you have that power to let her go. That you just find it in your hearts to just to let her go. I mean, we don't.
See, every time I asked, do you guys accept if she's gone? There was never an exception.
Right.
They're like, she's alive. We want her home alive.
We don't want nothing from you. If you want the reward, we just want her. Like, just let her go. We won't drop her off somewhere, or we won't say anything to anybody. We can just be complete. But we're just asking, please, like, just bring her home. Let her go if you have her, because this is just you have.
Do me a favor for the 265 listening right now, and I know a lot more are going to be listening later. If you can get the reward up, get the reward up. There's no reason why Jolissa shouldn't have a $30,000 reward or a $40,000 reward like these other people.
No,
no reason.
Is there a separate thing for that, or is that in with like the GoFundMe?
You have to listen. If you have her email, that's her Cash App. I'm gonna call her right after this. I'm gonna call her. It's still early. We got 2 minutes left. Let's get through this and then I'll call her.
Okay.
How's that? And then we'll get how we can help her.
Right.
Our family. What if this was your family and someone did this to you? Like, just let her go.
If Jolissa is here and she is underwater, I promise you I will find her. I promise you that. We will find her.
I love that.
I can, that 100% we will find her. But like I said, I don't want that. Our hope is
Did you hear where they were talking on another show where they're going to be searching one more spot and has to do with salt water for her? Had to do with the ocean?
I did hear that, but I didn't understand
So I don't
what
know if
led them to that, or
case. I don't know if they were confusing this case with the San Luis Obispo case. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Now, because they said it's going to be completely different. I could have sworn they said Jolissa's case, they got one more place to search and it has to do with salt water.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
And they're not used to doing saltwater searches. I said that to Norma the other night and she said, I have no clue. They have never told me that. I know for a fact I heard that.
I did too. You're not imagining it.
We'll
still
her.
out there.
Give us a minute.
She's going to be found.
Still out there. She's alive.
She's alive. She's a fighter too. Like
she's gonna. You guys are fighters.
No, I know that you're saying that's for the older lady, but they said there's one more place to search for Jolissa, and it's in the saltwater. I heard it for a fact.
Right. I mean, I heard that.
Anybody out there that knows, you guys should be very extremely nervous. Because this family is not going to stop.
Oh no, we're not going to stop ever. We're bringing her home.
Yeah. We are not going to stop. This is far from what you expected, and this is this is going to be a voice for her that's going to be extremely loud. Right. We're going to make sure that. With that being said, we're here to be a resource for your family.
Avocado Lake.
That was her spot right there.
In Pine Flat Dam. So explain to me what the reasoning is for that. Like what makes you say, Doug, Nick, like you guys have to go there?
Common location where she would go.
She always went to Avocado Lake. She took us up there with.
So you know what that means? That leads me to believe somebody knows her pattern.
Right.
Somebody knows this from the past. Somebody saw her that night and took advantage of her that knows her from the past. If you start watching people's pattern, look at the Eliza Fletcher case and other things. They all point to the same bullshit. Some perverted people that can't get a woman on their own and be a good person. They have to take something from them that the woman doesn't want to give up. Right? Disgusting.
It is. It's horrible to even think about, but it happens. I mean,
keep it in mind. Yeah.
Don't know if it was. Somebody that could have been stalking her.
I was like,
sorry, I had a lag, hon. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said, we don't know that if it could possibly be somebody that had been stalking her. Like,
thank you, Frankie. It's Stormy78 is her Cash App. So if you want to hit her up, it's Stormy with an actual S, 78 at gmail.com. You can email her too. Let's call her right after this, and we'll make sure we have all the donations or whatever her links are, her apps are.
Yeah.
For this. Exactly.
If she wanted to go to the lake, that was where she was going. But if it was closed around the time that she was there, knowing her, she would have been like, oh, I'm already up here. I'll just go more up the mountain. I'll keep going straight.
Closed. Is there a gate there?
I think it's at 6 that it opens the lake, the the gate to go into Avocado Lake. So if it was closed around that time, then we would say the next spot would be Pine Flat.
Yeah.
And how long of a drive is that to get there from here?
From here, about 35, 40 minutes, 40, 45.
Yeah.
45.
So she could have been there right when it opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the AM PM was
406.
406.
The last phone call was 5:26.
Yeah, especially if it was dark and she can't see. That's why she has her glasses. She can't see. She's blind.
We don't know who made that last phone call.
Is there anything that we
I
haven't
do believe
asked?
it was
Is there
her.
anything that you want to talk about?
You know,
I do believe her last phone call was a cry for help.
Right. I mean, that's
we're hoping and we're praying for you guys that you guys are guided to the right direction. We hope you guys don't find her.
Yeah.
We really do. But if she's out there, we want her.
Yeah. If
We,
she's
we want her home.
Yeah.
So we're just praying that, you know, God gives you the guidance and gives you guys eyes like eagles and that you are able to, you know, search the right locations. And, you know, if she's out there, then we need her home.
But everything happens for a reason. We have to trust in the Lord and have faith and
Amen.
And yeah, we're gonna get to working really hard, and we're just gonna get right to it. You know, we'll leave here and we'll go up. We'll start at Avocado, and then we'll go to Pine Flat. You know, we'll be flying drones as well, and it'll be a long, hard day. Because this is just what we do. You can see a car right here. Stay tuned for episode 2 on our search for 22-year-old Jolissa Fuentes.
Thank you. And there will be another video from them. Isn't that amazing?
is AWP does such great work. I'm so glad that they're, you know, able to help so many people. I just wish they would have been able to find something for Jolissa and her family.
Let me call Norma real quick. See if she's available.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Those 2 FaceTime calls were most definitely calls for help, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. Hold on, I'm going to call her right now.
Okay.
Hi, Doug.
Hey, Norma. You're live right now. Is that okay?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I guess hold on. I had to come to Walmart to grab my baby, the dog, some food.
Some food. Well, do me a favor. Let me know what it costs. We'd like to cover that. But I would like to tell you this. We just watched the AWP, the Adventures with a Purpose video on Jolissa. How do you feel that all worked out? Do you think it was everything that you wanted? Is there anything else?
Yes, I wanted them to come and search the water so we can move on from that, get that cleared, and that way we can start looking out for her. We knew she wasn't in there.
Right. We exactly. We knew she wasn't in there. What's the next steps? People want to know, how can we donate to you guys? We put up the Stormy 78 for the Cash App. It's the same for the PayPal, right? But just the email.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll put up the GoFundMe, and we want to make sure that you know that there's a lot of people behind us. We want to get answers from the police. What's the next step for us to do?
We got a private investigator, guys.
You finally got one?
Yes, we got. Well, we had the Eagle. They started asking for way too much money, and so then the private investigations for the missing reached out to us. And they're going to cover the cost of a PI that's here in Fresno.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, and then we're able to up the reward from the raffle that we did for Jolissa. So we upped the reward to another 5,000. So we're at 15,000.
Right, and we just posted the new flyer that has the $15,000 reward.
Yes.
We do have
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, and I was telling people, first of all, that and everyone's saying this is such great news. We're behind you, Norma. You and your family are so wonderful. What can we do? I'll be coming out there soon again to search.
Thank you. We're gonna hold it. Well, we're gonna try to do a search this weekend. I'm gonna put it up in a little bit. I want to go search the country in Sanger.
Sanger?
Towards Avocado Lake.
Okay.
That's the country out there. We want to go search that. We haven't really searched out there, and It's cute. It's just like Salma. So we want to go out there and we want to go search. You know, we're never going to stop searching. We're going to keep looking. My sister-in-law wants to go out there, so that's where we're going to go.
I agree. Again, I'm 3 hours away. You let me know within. I can be out there in the next week, in the half-ish week.
Okay, yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, if we don't find my baby, if God don't bring her home, then we'll do what we're doing one every week until she's home.
And we're going to go to that police station and make them do their work.
Yes, of course.
Let me ask you a question. Have they not still contacted you about phone records or any?
No. We don't know anything about no phone records. They told us flat out, we are not getting the phone records.
Huh. What about the last camera footage of her coming back into town? Do we still know which camera that was, or are they not telling you?
No, they're not telling us.
That's
yeah,
so
they're
weird.
not telling us. Yeah, they're not telling us none of that. I literally, well, you know, yesterday and today have been kind of hard.
Right. I know that, huh?
Hard days, and I was frustrated. I called them, and, you know, I wanted answers. I want answers. I want to know, you know, why aren't we getting this? Why aren't we getting that? Same thing they always tell me. We're working hard. This is a priority, and it's very frustrating.
Well, there's a lot of people who are sending their love and to your family and to everybody involved. And you guys did a wonderful job in the AWP video.
My friend, I haven't seen it yet. I don't really like to look at myself on the.
I just watched it and we just reviewed it. It was the first time I watched it as well. I wanted to wait to hopefully, you know, first of all, give them the chance to put it out, but also use it the way that it's for Jolissa. And I hope everybody gets to share it, but also go over there and support AWP at the same time. Because they truly are amazing as well, right?
They are amazing. They are amazing. And we're so blessed to have them here. Yeah, you know what? The boys wanted to see it. The boys, my sons, they want to see it. So they're like, "Mom, get it." And I said, "Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it for you guys."
Just no, it's up on AWP. Don't watch it on my channel. Go over there. If you ever want to go back and read my comments, go over to their channel, watch it. Tonight we reviewed it. I want you to watch it in full so you can watch yourself in full. There's no reason for you guys to see the reviews, but if you want to come back and read our comments and our commentary and listen to it, you're going to know that there's so many people behind you, and so many people are going to contact that police department to make sure that we regress our government and make sure that our tax dollars are going the right direction, and that people are going to give answers even when they don't want to. They have to.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they came and they did that for my baby. My girlfriends and stuff, they watched it too, and they're like, you know, it was really good, Norma. And I'm like, oh my God, like.
Yeah, go to their channel, watch it. Don't watch it on mine first. We'll go to their channel first, watch it in full. And then if you want to watch or read the comments, I suggest you do, because it might be uplifting to you. And I want you to know that there's a lot of people behind you, your husband, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, distant relatives, family members, non-family members, whoever was at the protest. So many people are behind you guys. And we're not going to stop talking about this until people listen.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, guys.
No. We love you. Norma, get some rest. We'll be in contact, okay?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for not giving up on Jolissa. Thank you guys for still, contacting us, and thank you guys for being her voice.
You're very welcome.
We appreciate you guys. Just keep praying for Jolissa. She's gonna come home.
100%.
And then you guys will meet her, and you guys will be
absolutely. We're not giving up.
Amen to that. Amen. To that.
God bless.
God bless you as well.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Good night, Norma.
Good night.
Are you guys listening?
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Norma. Thank you for talking. All right, you guys. Why don't you put some hearts up there? Bring Jolissa home. Let's have the rest of the stream silent for that. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video out. If you're in the chat right now and you're a creator and you're going to use it the right way, I have no problem for you using it. Share it out. Keep Jolissa's name out there. Let's bring Jolissa home. I love you guys, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Let's bring Jolissa home, people. Thank you for the think tank and keeping this about Jolissa. Keeping a voice out there is most important. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about these cases. Forget about the drama. Forget about these nonsense people who don't matter. Remember, the voiceless need us. Forget those who have a voice and want to be trash. Let's rock and roll, people. Bring Jolissa home. I love you guys. We will catch you on the flip side. Hashtag bring Jolissa home in the chat, please. I love you guys.
Thank you.